we doing? I think these guys are going to get hurt.
Yeah. Bring it on.
Are you ready to rock? My first recollection of listening to music basically was in my room in Brooklyn with my turntable, 45s, but also just watching TV, the Ed Sullivan Show, the Stones. The feeling that gave me was just through the roof. The feeling that I got was just such an intense internal emotional high. It was just everything like patchouli, paisley exploding in my head. You know, I just knew that that was the kind of vibe I wanted to feel all the time. My parents had a bungalow in Mount Freedom, New Jersey, where we'd go every summer. And it was just the usual thing, me sitting in the back of my father's Chevy Impala, you know, being impatient and not wanting to be there. But one year we drove through New Jersey, and on the town common, everyone suddenly had long hair and hippie clothes and with guitars. And I was like, wow, there's a whole new reality coming and here, and I want to be in the middle of that.
There's beauty up the river, waiting for us all. Songbird makes me shiver just to hear his simple call.
There was one point where I knew almost nothing about music. Next thing I was at the Beatles at Shea Stadium and then Woodstock Festival watching Hendrix. And so it really happened quick for me. So I would say that the whole classic rock era, Hendrix, Joplin, even, you know, folkers like Richie Havens, but then, you know, the Clash, the Sex Pistols, just to me, when I heard and felt them, I was like, there's a whole new level of energy and mania, which, you know, it could be an outlet for a lot that was going on in my head.
Told you once before, stay away from my door. Don't come looking for me. Said that it's alright, no reason to fight. You were too blind to see. Even if I showed you, everybody told you, I know that it will pass you by. I'm getting ready, the pressure's been too steady. People either wonder why. Looking for trouble again.
The Doors were a big influence on me too, because I liked the darkness, you know, and the Beatles were a lot about light, which was great, and love and peace and happiness, which was really beautiful part of the whole movement too. But I like to mix the whole medium with the dark and the light. And I formed my most major bands up in the Woodstock and New Paltz area in the Hudson Valley. So I started with the Test Tube Babies. I had about 8 or 10 different iterations. But we always did my original music. And so that was a tough road to hoe because there was a lot of politics that wasn't clicking in the band. So I had another band in the Woodstock area that I was in love with called the Whippets. They were a jazz fusion band. And I just went to their show one night and said, hey, I have a band called the Test Tube Babies, and they knew who we were. And we're going on tour in Quebec next week, but I don't like my old band. Do you want to be my new band? And they go, sure. So now we had a punk jazz fusion band with like top of the line Berkeley trained players, and my raw energy, I just get wrapped in the feeling, you know. And when the band's good, it's just like a well-oiled machine that's encompassing you completely in a cocoon. So I plug in and boom, as soon as I hit that note, no more thoughts. You know, it's like when you're playing baseball. You're out there. If you start thinking, well, how fast the ball traveling, what's the velocity, and how many feet to the wall, and you lose the ball. So I have to shut everything down, and I can't overthink. You overthink, and it becomes artificial. So it's just one big ball of energy, and I basically punk out everything. I just do it fast, and the beginnings and the endings are important, right? Like you say, and then so but the middle is important, obviously, too. I really care a lot about the quality of the music, so I try to always surround myself. And I've been very fortunate to surround myself with amazing players. Ted Lewin, Kenny Ashby on drums, Brian Betzker, who played with Gangrene and Jerry's Kids, Mike Stone, who played with Queensryche. Now I have a 21-year-old Berkeley prodigy, a woman, Melissa Henderson, on guitar, Craig Thaler on violin. So you want to give them a lot of range to do what they do best and respect them, but within the context of what your vision is. When Les and I joined teams, Les Vegas from the Blue Oyster Cult days, he had a group of his own songs and one of his own players, and so there was we had a Test Tube Babies, and we co-wrote a few songs, but he had his occasionally and I had mine, and never the twain did mix for the most part. But we worked together on each other's, and we performed with each other on each other's songs. But there's a lot of collaboration. Again, you have to give people the freedom to be the great musicians they are. But yes, if you have a vision, you have to try to retain it. But ultimately, you have to work with people who understand your music and like it, because if they're just hired guns, the vibe's not there, and there's no point in hanging around. The most important thing is getting shows, getting in the studio, getting good recordings made, getting the best out of each player, giving the best out of yourself, and writing the best songs. After I left Woodstock, I started doing a few things on my own. I put together a similar band just for studio purposes called I Am You. It's kind of one of the themes I have: I am you, you are me, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And but then I produced a record which was a compilation of some new stuff and some live stuff, and I called it Howie, 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 because a lot of people would always say that to me in exasperation. Howie, Howie, Howie. So I called it Howie, 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 Living My Life, Why Me? So I did get an opportunity to go to the bitter end, which was amazing. All those famous people, I hung out there. I sat in that audience watching that very stage, not just when I was a kid growing up, but right up to weeks before I got to play there. Every time I go to Manhattan, I go to the bitter end. So the place was packed with fans. They made Howie Howie t-shirts. So I got on stage, I looked out, everyone had a Howie Howie t-shirt on. I boom, hit the first chord, was completely committed, as they say. Didn't see anything except, in my head. And the audience was through the roof enthusiastic. Like I'll play a song later called Rule the World. I just was coming up with that phrase, rule the world, because of all the politics. And then I needed something to rhyme with world, and I came up with girl. I like a lot of that too. Words that don't specifically rhyme. I hate forced rhyming. But words that almost rhyme, like world and girl.
I place I could call home, somewhere to be alone with you. Well, I'm just a regular guy living in a one-horse town. I can't quite figure out why it takes so long just to settle down. Everything comes, everything goes. It's all right there, everyone knows. Tomorrow's the day to seal our fate. All good things come to those who wait. I don't need no throne, just a place I could call home, somewhere to be alone with you.
Like in the song "Bring Back Tomorrow," I have a line: "Watch your mouth, watch your step, watch the world slip from your grip." So step and grip don't rhyme, but if you say them, if you bend step on the front end forward and you bend grip on the back end backward, they merge.
It's up to you and it's up to me. So many eyes cannot see. It's the same old everywhere. So many ears cannot hear. Watch your mouth, watch your step, watch the world slip from your grip. All your gods won't save you now. You're the only savior now. Bring back tomorrow. Let's take another crack at yesterday. Bring back tomorrow. There must be something more you wanna say. Time and time again, open up your mind and then reach down deep inside and then lend yourself a helping hand. Time to take a stand right now. It's all right there for you to know. Watch the war machine tonight. Show some balls. Do what's right. Bring back tomorrow. Let's take another crack at yesterday. Bring back tomorrow. There must be something more you wanna say. Bring back tomorrow. Let's take another crack at yesterday. Bring back tomorrow. There must be something more you wanna say. Hey, there must be something more. There must be something more. There must be something more you wanna say to me.
I was on this river right here outside my window, the North River, and just I heard a bird chirping, beauty up the river. With all its twists and turns, the river has a plan. Get back to the ocean from where it all began. So it can be an experience that generates it, and it's topic free almost. You know, it can be, I think maybe Rule the World could be a love song, because it's sort of mellowed me out, you know, with I don't need no throne, just a place I can call home, somewhere to be alone with you. So presumably that's my current life, very peaceful here on the river with Ginny. Bring Back Tomorrow, that's a song about hope for the future. Let's bring back tomorrow. I like doing opposites, you know, in Beauty Up the River, there's hurt and hope and help and hell, walking up the trail, love and lust and pain and peace. So I like flinging around opposites in songs. It's just the energy, whether the energy comes from love, hate, anger, pain, peace, politics, or just a leaf, you know, it can be anything. When I grab my guitar and start to play, the key is usually right there waiting for me.
Down. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. You know what I know. You'll go wherever I go. You will reap what I will sow. I'm coming from behind, we'll soon be toe to toe. Take it down. Take it down. You drink the water from my well. You try to fool me, but I can't tell. Your son and daughter's not doing so well. You're gonna shiver and shake when I ring that bell. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. You're standing on hollow, holy ground, with no idea what's coming down. 6,000 years just fucking around. All you got to show is some phony crown. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down.
Well, having a good band is everything. I mean, it allows you to relax. You can count on them to do their parts, and not only the parts that you've envisioned for them, but to create new parts that dovetail perfectly with where your vision was. So you can kind of just lose yourself in the music in a more visceral way. Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream, right? That's where you want to get to when you're on stage. So I've been very fortunate, you know, to play with people like A.J. Mazzetti, who was with Flock of Seagulls, and Peter Mazzetti, his brother, Ted Lewin, the guitarist, well-known jazz violinist Craig Thaler, Mike Stone, who played with Queensryche, Brian Betzger from Gangrene and Jerry's Kids as my drummer. Right now I work with Ken Webb on bass and Tatsuya Yoshinaga, amazing drummer. Melissa Henderson, 21-year-old guitar prodigy from Berkeley. But it gives you that confidence, and you know they can do it, and you don't even have to monitor it. Like, for instance, here's an example. I recorded this song, Rule the World, and I had a sax solo in the middle, sax solo in the end. We used the drum machine, which my drummer was running. But in the end, it just didn't really have the balls and the clout I thought it should, and the energy. So one day my drummer just called me, he goes, "Hey, I did something you might like." I was like, "What was that?" He goes, "Well, I laid down a live drum track," and it was perfect. And then I said, "We got to get rid of that sax solo." So I sent the file to my guitarist over the internet, electronically, and in seemed like 10 minutes, she sent it back and nailed a new solo, note for note, exactly how I would have done it if I had Clapton or Hendrix or anybody doing it. And so you have that kind of confidence. You know that your vision can be carried out, and just working with those people allows you to relax, and it allows the music to grow. I have done some solo stuff. I wrote a song, it was pretty dark, about 9/11. My friend Ted Lewin called me up. He was at Lake Saranac, and he goes, "Hey, I was just thinking about this tragedy, and I knew there was one guy in the world that could write the right song, and that's you. So why don't you write it and then come up to the Adirondacks and record it with me?" So I literally sat down and wrote that song right then and there, called "Who Killed All Those People," and played it for Ted over the phone. He goes, "It's exactly what I knew you would do. Get in the car." I drove 9.5 hours to Lake Saranac, spent 3 days drinking Jack Daniels and working on the tune, and we came out with a really good song. And then I went out and performed it solo quite a bit. But that was an emotional song that people really connected with. But I really need the electric guitar, because to me it's more of a weapon than a tool. I was looking in the mirror. I was up in Woodstock, and I was just looking in the mirror, whatever I was doing. And I turned away, and out of the corner of my eye, my face was still in the mirror. It looked like it to me. So I wrote this song. I just left my face in the mirror. Now I got my finger on the trigger. I don't even know if it's a loaded gun, but you better watch out, I'm coming home. You tell me you're the best thing I've ever seen, but you don't even know all the places I've been. I'm talking about something in the back of my mind, talking about some dreams I'm still trying to find. So I wrote that whole song, boom, boom, boom. And then I never, I've recorded it and everything, but I never refined it, I left a lot of my earlier stuff quite raw, which was good in the time. But now I'm kind of putting more nuances on it, and I'm become more open to having other people, ideas help me evolve these. So it's business as usual. Nothing has changed. Everybody stay cool. It's being arranged. A little polite so you don't feel the bite. It's torture in the daytime and a family man at night. So that's a double meaning. It means it's torture in the daytime and a family man at night. It means you can go to work and work for an arms company or a pharmaceutical company or a chemical company and then go home and play with your kids. So you're doing fucked up things during the day and you're a family man at night. Or maybe it's someone's torturing you all day so you're the victim all day and then you're a family man at night. But, when I tell my Alexa to play something, I might listen to a little Hendrix. Alexa, stop. She's very rowdy. Alexa, stop. So when I tell my computer to play something, she's out of control. Women, right?